Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. I am sitting in the inside of a partially taken apart Toyota Sienna minivan. I'm crouched underneath the ceiling panel. Alright, we'll show you what I mean. And this is day one of a conversion build, and I wanted to just record the progress so far for today. So we've taken the seats out. The middle seats, the back seats are out. We have obviously taken the headliner down. And most folks will use like a wood plank or plywood or cedar strips or something like that. And I'm deciding what I will do. But let's start further back here. Walking into the garage at my parents' house. This is where I've stored the parts that are coming out, and I'll explain my system in a little bit. So my plan for all this is I want to keep making YouTube content. I am pretty busy now. I work 3 days a week as a construction worker. I'm picking up a lot of skills. The job is in Rhode Island. I live right now in Hingham. A big reason why I live here in Hingham is because there is this garage. There's this space that I can use. Without the space, it's really difficult for me to be doing what I want to be doing, converting a van so that I can then live more minimally. Since leaving the community, I've had to make a lot of adjustments in terms of lifestyle. I don't have access to locally grown food from the homestead anymore. I'm eating a little bit more meat product because I need my strength in order to do the construction work. I have limited time. So between the real estate, my part-time construction job, and wanting to continue to make homesteady, community type videos, as well as Cantonese DIY videos, this is sort of something I'm floating. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep making these just progress vlogs, and I think it could be useful because from my search on YouTube, there are a couple of folks who have done minivan conversion, but not many. A lot of folks don't bother really converting a minivan and doing the insulation and doing it full out because it's just so small. It's not enough of a space for you to really live full time in. But for me, that really actually serves my purpose. I want something for the city, and I don't think a lot of folks have done that. They're doing it for traveling, and I want to create something that you could maybe live some time out of, but it's a space. It's a space for me to save time. It's a space for me to have my own spot. I can think in there. I can have a little office in there. I can then further my hopes and dreams of, I don't know, living intentionally and make my way back to community if that's what's in the cards, if that's what makes sense. But for now, this is what I'm going to be doing. So that's a little bit of an intro. I am thinking I'm going to keep doing, I'm going to be out of the box. I'm going to do alternating English and Cantonese. So for those of you who are sticking with me, I totally appreciate that. I've thought about it. I know that most people will do separate channels for separate things, but this is me. All of this is me. All of these interests are me, and I think we all have so many parts to ourselves. It doesn't make sense for me to just piece them all separately. It makes sense for me to do them all together. But I will, of course,+add subtitles, English subtitles as needed for the Cantonese version. But I also think if you watch a video, you can get the gist of it. You'll get 90+% of what I'm doing if you are interested in doing the van build. If not, then skip it. Watch every other one or whatever. It doesn't matter. You'll still get value out of it, I think. So that's what I'm trying to do. For today, I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So a big part of making sure this is successful, I think, is organization. So the cardboard came out of the van. The van had the seats, right? So third row seats, second row seats, and these are all the parts that came out. And I showed you from the van how just taken apart it is. What I would recommend is my system that I started doing is label everything. So left, right, is it front, is it back, is it ceiling, is it floor? Some things are more obvious. So for example, this says left visor, right? Like you will know, like you know that doesn't go on the floor. So it doesn't have to be, doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it's definitely helpful to keep everything organized together. So left visor, and the other critical thing that I would recommend you do if you do take a van apart is keep a record of like what is coming out of it. So that says 6, meaning that the left visor will have 6 pieces that it's missing if it ever needs to go back together. So that's these 2 covers. This cover goes here to cover that up, and then this hook goes here, right? So now, like, I don't need to try to remember that. This is all self-containing, and the other 4 things are screws, and it's under here. And I could, like, drop this. I will know, like, if I'm missing a screw, if I'm missing a part, then I'll know because it's not 6. And I'm not going as detailed as like, oh, 1, 2 covers, 4 screws, like that's not needed. But having that number 6 and having all the parts all together, I think would be very helpful and recommended if you do do the conversion at some point. So one other thing that I will do during the system is make a note of anything that might not work. So as I'm taking it apart, it's important to check right then if the thing is functioning as it should, right? So for example, this one, the light I think it didn't click off when I tried, right? So I made sure everything, if it's supposed to have power, it does. All of the connector clips. If there's anything wrong with it, like if I break a piece as I'm taking it apart, then I'm writing that down right here on this label so that when I do need it, if I want to put this all back in, it's all there. I don't have to keep it in my head. That makes it a lot easier. This example, I think I might actually have had the door slid open, so I think it might click off. I just was not thinking clearly, like just had the door open for air circulation. So obviously if your door is open, your light comes on, and it wasn't clicking off because the light was on. But we'll see. But see, like I don't need to know. There's a good chance I might not need to use any of this stuff. But if I want to give it away, if I want to sell it, whatever I want to do as spare parts, then at least it's there. And I'm going to use twine and bundle it all together. And then they can just stay here or go in a box or go in a bag, and everything would be fine. So that is, I think, a very helpful tip. Hello, van. All right, so what are we doing here? Tools. Right, so I was talking about the spare tire. For me, this van has a broken spare tire hoist, so that's why the spare tire was living in the van. But that will get put back on at the shop, and we don't need that. Tools. All right, here are all the tools that I use. Pliers. This set is just so handy. So there are certain spots where you just need to like get a clip out, so that was useful. The side little nubs, you would want to use this to pull it out. I can I can record using them later on. You want your socket set, and I needed to use the 14 millimeter and the 10 that was used. These came from the ceiling. Marker, tape, and a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver. And another tip is to cover up the metal with some tape so that you don't scratch your plastic. That was helpful. Bits. I needed to use this, what was this guy? This was the H332 that was used. For the removal, I needed to use the T20, the T30, and the Phillips 2 is currently in my impact driver. So that's another tool I need. But for everything I've done today, that is all I needed in terms of tools. And my hands. And I did it myself. I did not need anybody else's help. Okay, so the idea here is First step is insulation. Insulation and ventilation fans. So another tip I would say is before you take the top off, make sure you make it easy for yourself. I'm going to use the same hole to use the ventilation fan. So right before I took it all off, I marked the hole that it's going to be matched up to, where the center media console was, and this is where I'm going to drill, and now I don't need the headliner at all. Was it difficult? Not really. So I can like do like a step-by-step like which pieces come out first, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Also, there are other YouTube videos out there to explain. I can link the ones I watched, I guess. Then like I don't need to repeat what's already out there. I think there are things that I did that I had to figure out that wasn't out there. So I'll just focus on that. Where I'm at now is the cables. This stuff all should stay with it. I believe there's another connector that I have yet to uncover that will be able to let me release that very last tie to this ceiling cover, and that will let me release that. The next decision I need to make, let me crawl back inside, is what to do in order to insulate. So I know for the ceiling I want to do either polyiso or XPS to do the ceiling, and the content that's not out there is what to do with the side, because this is like a lot of machinery. Let me explain what all this is. So we're on the right side. We got the real wheel well. This thing is the car's AC. So this is a 2004 Toyota Sienna. This guy is going to stay. I don't think it makes sense for me to take out the car's AC system. That doesn't make any sense. So that's gonna stay. This was the right hand pocket where the jack is, and the weird seat belt and stuff like that. So to me, it doesn't make sense to do the great stuff to like insulate everything. So I think I'm gonna go with 3N Thinsulate, but I will be ordering that, and then hopefully that will come in by the time I get to the side. But first, really, why I started with today's goal of taking down the ceiling panel is because I ordered the fan, the vent fan, last night, and by the time that comes in, I want this to be out. I want to have a plan for the ceiling and then build it on the way down. And then obviously I'll move on with the left side also and get that all done. So I think that's everything for today. So that's day one, and this was like 5 hours or so of work, including research and everything else. So pretty doable, super nice, awesome day to be doing this. What else can I say? Yeah, pretty much it. Like, there are like really cool design things in a van. Like, this has just been so fun to do. Super scary for sure. It was so scary to start. I almost didn't. I was procrastinating and thinking like, what else do I need to do? But once I got into it, it's so wonderful. I'm so glad I did it. Some air hoses to connect to the back. Well, I'm just rambling at this point. Not much else to say. I think I might do a little bit more before I end the day. I might not. I don't know. I'll let you know, I guess. Eee! Hope everyone is having a great Saturday. And it's Easter tomorrow. And it's finally almost not winter here in Hingham, Massachusetts, in the suburbs of Boston, the United States. Have a good one. Bye.
Oh, hey, me again. I'm back because I want to start a new segment, and this is going to be question of the day for each video. So the question for this video is for all of you. Please do let me know which you are. Do you work to live or do you live to work? So my friends and I were discussing this, kind of having a little debate, whether we chose jobs where we don't actually like emotionally invest. And we try to optimize and maximize fulfillment and joy during time outside of work, or if you're the other way around, if you basically live to work, which sounds awful, but I mean, I think I fall in that camp. I think I live to work. I really get a lot of enjoyment out of my work, and so I have to find work that is like fulfilling in like on a multitude of levels. I don't have to, but that's what I've chosen to do so far in life. But super curious which one you are. Please do comment below. Hopefully we can get a discussion going, because I think the audience of folks that watch the videos I've been putting out so far would have really interesting things to say. So let's try it out. Thanks so much. Bye.